Thank you for tuning in, you don't wanna miss it. The Superstars family with the parents and the children. Oh yeah, we handle business. Let's go, it's time to get it.
Yes, give it up for yourselves. Give it up for yourselves. First, let's give it up for Cody and the whole entire 8% Nation team. Let's give it up for them.
Yes.
Also, let's give it up for ourselves. Give it up for yourself for showing up this morning, for showing up and staying here today. Give it up for yourself. Keep those applause. I don't see nobody clapping for themselves. Let's go. That's a win. That's a win. Congratulations. And let's also give it up for God for giving us breath in our lungs, for being here. Let's give it up for God. Let's give it up for God. All right. Yes. So thank you all for allowing us to be here. Yes, we are life partners. Yes, we are also business partners. Yes, we decided to do two of the things that are the hardest in life together. Yes, we decided to do two of the things that takes the most determination together. Yes, we decided to do two of the things that takes the most dedication together. So yes, some days are hard. Some days are tough, but some days we decide not to quit. Every day we decide not to quit. And it's the most rewarding feeling. And so I just want to thank my husband for being here with me. All right. So we are going to tag team this thing. We are the dynamic duo, as he calls us, and we have 3 E's that we live by. Educate. We always want to educate people and to leave them better than the way they came and when they met us. So we want to educate you, shift your mindset and the way you see the world, see yourselves. Okay, so then we're going to educate you, then we're going to empower you. We want to give you the tools that it takes to succeed in life. You came here for a breakthrough. You came here for something different. You came here to see a different level of life. So that's what all of these speakers came here to do. And then the last thing, we want to educate, empower, and encourage you. Okay, it's hard in here. It's hard at this level. It's hard when we've been where many of you are. Where we didn't know if we had enough to pay a bill. When we on our knees praying, Lord, please, you know exactly what we need to pay this bill. And then a commission check comes early. God is funny that way, huh? So we've been there. We've been there when we like, I don't know if our relationship is going to last through this pressure of business, pressure of life. But we didn't give up, and we see God come through every time. So, yes, I've been in your shoes. Yes, we've been where you are. And yes, we know how to get through where you're going. All right? So we decided to share with you 4 points. And those 4 points, well, we're going to share 2 of them today, the breakthrough code. And Anthony's going to get started with us for the step 1.
All right, so as Rakita just mentioned, and I'm going to kind of step on it to honor the time that we have. So when you look at where you are in life, everything that you see physically is a result of something invisible. So it's the invisible first that precedes, and then you see something in this is spiritual first that you see in the physical, right? So as you look at different areas of life, you have the spiritual, you have the physical, you have the mental, and there's different areas that you have to balance in life, right? Then all the way at the top, you have the financial, right? So the thing is, most of the time when you're looking through these areas, emotional and all of these places, we try to tend to go to the top. But the issue is that's at the end. So if you think about baseball, if you think about when you hit the ball, there's first base, second base, third base, and then you come home. If you run all the way around the bases after you hit the ball and you don't touch first, but you touch second, you touch third, and you try to come home, and the ball touches you, you're out. Because why? You didn't hit the first base. So what I want to explain to you today is the spiritual is the first base that most of us are missing because we're so far trying to get the reward, the last base. Does that make sense? So I want y'all to follow along with this because, again, what you don't see is what is the basis of what you will see. So if you think about a seed under the ground, right? If a seed is buried, you don't see that seed. When a tree grows and you see the fruit, which is an apple or whatever, that's what you physically see, but what you didn't see was the invisible that was down here when the roots were growing. Does that make sense? All right. So if you're looking at this, most of our challenge, we start here at the foundation. If you're lacking any type of resource in your life, it's because you got to go back here. God says, seek me first in his kingdom, and all those other things will be added to you. So if you're missing that first base and not seeking him first, oh, you got a big problem why you're not having all those other things added to you. So I want you to understand that. And if you're watching this, Matthew 6:33 is the verse I just referenced. I want you to go there at your own time to look at that. Matthew 6:33. Now, when you think about why do I have lack in my life, you got to go back to who owns it all and who controls it all, which is God. God is the one who owns it all. That's what Scripture tells us. So now when you're looking, go back, look at Luke 5, 1 through 11. You have Jesus, right? You have two fishermen. They're fishing on a boat. These guys are experts. They know what they're doing. They fished all their lives. They catch fish all the time. They've been out all night on this boat, ain't caught nothing. That's many of us. We know how to prospect. We know how to get leads. We know how to get sales. But then if you dried up and you're in a drought, you got to go back and look, well, what's going on? So these guys here are out at the end of the night. Jesus comes, he hits the scene. He see these guys. He comes over, he gives clear instructions. Put out the boat, come over here. What I want you to do is let your net down. You see that? It's a lot of time God is talking to us in the spiritual, but we're not hearing him. The word says, my sheep hear my voice and they know my voice. So as he gives them clear instructions and they follow them, what happens? One of the idiots, I'll just call them idiots because when God is talking to you, trying to tell God to educate God, you're an educated fool. He tells Jesus, well, I've been out here all night. We know what we're doing. We ain't caught nothing. But I'll do as you say anyway, and I'll let down the net. The moment he lets down the net and he takes the direction that the Lord has given him, so many fish come that it begins to break the nets and they have to call for other people to come in. Again, before the Lord hits the scene in the spiritual, they were in lack. At this point, now Jesus hits the scene, give them clear instructions on where to win and how to win. And at this point, now they measures pressed down, shaken together, runneth over. So what I'm trying to explain to you is if you have any type of lack of resources, it's maybe because you're missing that first base. God will allow you to hit rock bottom in your life because he is our rock. And that's exactly where he is. So you will hit rock bottom to come back to where he is. So he can meet you where you are and then he can give you clear instructions. The last point I'm going to give, and I'm going to pass the baton over, is not only will God give you clear direction, clear instructions, but if most of us are struggling in our lives, we don't have purpose in our life. After they follow through with what Jesus tells them, he then tells them what they're going to be doing. He says, now you're going to be a fisher of men. You're not going to be a fisher of actual fish. You're going to be a fisher of men. So now he empowered them to give them purpose. So again, if you don't have clarity or you have confusion in your life, it's probably because you're missing this first base of spiritual. I'm going to pass it to Rakita, and she's going to hit our next point.
All right. So our next one is mental. Mental is second base. What we tell ourselves matter. What we think about ourselves matter. And if you are continuously pouring in negative, if you're saying, oh man, I'm not good at this, you're not going to be good at it. I'm sorry to tell you. I mean, you're just not going to be good at it because that's something you believe about yourself. It's one part to say what you believe about yourself. It's another thing to agree with what God has said about you. So stop sitting here and listening to what everyone else is saying. What am I saying to me? I sit up here and tell myself I am great. We have our children telling themselves we're champions. I'm a leader. I am purposeful. I'm going to be great. I'm going to do great things in this world. And if you're not telling yourself that, who else is going to tell you? We out of school. We don't get awards anymore. We don't get participation trophies anymore. You have to get up and give yourself a reward. Give yourself a trophy. And your trophy is your crown. What you think, what's in here is what matters. So stop worrying about what other people are saying. And success is one thing. Winning is easy. I mean, winning is hard. Sorry. It's very hard. Success is hard. Winning is hard. Marriage is hard, but it's very simple. And I want you to remember this acronym. Simple. First is your S. It's going to take separation. you have to separate yourself. When you are around either negative people or feeding yourself things that are online, feeding yourself things that don't feed your spirit, feed your mental, you have to separate yourself from people, things, because you're not going to be understood. And they're going to make you think you're crazy. I'm telling you now. So you have to separate yourself when you are trying to achieve another level of greatness. Michael Jordan had to do it. Kobe Bryant had to do it. They called him crazy. They call him an a-hole. Cody, I'm sure some people think he's an a-hole, but they don't say it because he's so nice. I'm sorry. When you are so focused on a goal, it's hard to understand. I still think Anthony's crazy sometimes, but I'm on the boat. All right, so the next thing, we have limited time, so I'm going to keep on going. It's immersion. You have to immerse yourself in greatness. You have to immerse yourself in becoming a better version of yourself. You have to immerse yourself in your script. You have to immerse yourself into, if you have to get leads, how do I get them? How do I learn how to use them? What are successful people doing? We've already heard everyone talk about leads. Get them. It's time to get them. Stop not investing in yourself and invest in yourself. Invest in your personal development. Invest in your business, personal and professional development. Immerse yourself into what it takes to be successful and what it takes to be great. M is going to be measure. Measure what's not working. If it can't be measured, it can't be improved. That's why sports players, they watch film. That's why they listen. That's why you listen back to your calls. Okay, what did I do that could be better on that one? How can I get this sale? How can I measure what can I do better? Find ways to measure what you're doing and improve it. If you're not doing that, then there's no way you can break through because you don't know where you need to improve. The next thing, purpose. Purpose-driven activities. Anthony and I, we have a common goal, and mine is, one, we want to help people grow mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. But then, another part of that, I want to wake up every morning and see the ocean. I want to wake up every morning or every month, go somewhere different that you only see on Instagram, the travels pages, places that are hard to imagine that even exist. If I'm not doing things that feed that daily, if I'm doing things that constantly feed in negative energy, being around people who are just settling for mediocrity, people who are broke, sit around and talk about problems. And I can't sit around and listen to problems all day. You shouldn't be doing it either. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking like I'm a mama of 3, so I'm sorry, y'all. Let me come back. These are adults, okay? But you cannot sit around and listen to that all day. If I'm having troubles in my marriage, I'm not going to go around someone who's having those same problems, and we're not talking about solutions. Right. So you have to separate yourself from things that are not driving you to this purpose. If God said what He joined together, no man can separate. So if I'm around someone who is pulling me away from my spouse or with someone, talking to someone who's pulling me away from my marriage, then I got to limit my time with them or cut it off. Because you'll be in that same boat. So I know it's hard for some people, but you got to do it. The next thing, L. What is my L? It's going to be learn and apply. It's one thing to show up today. It's one thing to read your books. It's one thing to hear some great information. But if you don't apply it, you're not going to change. Your life is going to constantly look the same. So it's learn and apply. Stop just learning a bunch of stuff and having a bunch of head knowledge, and you're not applying anything in your life. All right, the last one. My E. What is my E?
Eliminate.
Eliminate excuses. Eliminate. How you spell it? Excuses. That does not get you success. Oh, it's cold outside. I don't feel like going to work out. What they got to do with anything? You can work out in your living room. That's right. Oh, the leads, they suck. Okay, find some good ones. Oh man, I got 3 kids. I can't do the things that I want to do. You do that because of them. You do what you have to do because of them. So eliminate excuses, get out of your own mind, get out and do what you got to do to feed this purpose. Feed your mental vision. All right?
All right, so as we wrapping it up, we hit 2 of the bases. And again, we're talking about the 4 bases. We hit spiritual, and she hit mental. And then obviously our time is running out, and so I want to be respectful of that. So we do have the rest of the presentation. If you would like to just do a webinar or anything, not trying to say anything, but honestly just want you to see what the other 3 bases, or 2 bases or 3rd base, and coming home. And if you want, you can get that by texting COACH, COACH, to 66866. Again, that's COACH to 66866. I'm telling you, we're not going to try to sell you anything. What's more important to us is who you are, your mindset, and helping you with that, okay? And so what we want to do, seriously though, is if anyone, now listen to me, anyone who has any questions on if you were to die today and you don't know where your soul will go, you definitely text that message, and I want to speak to you directly. If you don't know where your soul is going to go when you die today, I don't care how much money you make, I don't care about any of that. Because the word says, what good does it do a man to profit the world but lose his soul? We don't want you to gain the world and lose your soul, okay? So if you have any questions about that, seriously, get with us. We would love to talk about that. Our time is over, so we want to just say thank y'all for listening to us.
Time to tell their story, take you on a journey. Still they keep their faith in God, so no reason to worry. Giving financial tips for business, help you get your start. Then it's time to have some fun, arcades and amusement parks. Yeah, the Super Starks family, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in.